Hey everybody, Spiral here. Welcome to my guest bedroom where I have COVID. Shit sucks. And it's kind of terrifying to me that 3 years on, almost 2 years on at least, that this is still a problem. I am double vaccinated and boosted as a relatively healthy 29-year-old man, and I still had to deal with this. This is bullshit. Either way, dealing with bullshit for the past 5 days, I've had a lot of time to lay back, think, and watch anime. One of the biggest surprises of the past 5 days? Lycoris Recoil kicks ass. The show is so good. I know my videos usually start out with some long, ponderous meditation on life and how my life has been and how whatever show I'm talking about can apply to your life. Not today. Today we're talking about schoolgirl hitmen. Hell yeah. Quick side note, I did get a new computer, and I got a whole new setup here. I'm trying out some new filming setups, but I can't really leave my guest room, so this is going to have to work for now. I hope y'all like it. If not, I'll change it. If I like it, I'll keep it. We'll figure it out. Either way. So I can't really overstate how much of a pleasant surprise Lycoris Recoil was to me. I expected some fan service, maybe a bit of schlock, and the passing of 22 minutes in my current hell. However, what I got was a lot of heart. I got a lot of friendships. I got some fucking sakuga, some good, beautiful fight choreography, and I was generally shocked out of how pretty good this 24 episode seasonal anime is. I guess, I don't know. I'll flash the right number here, I guess. 13, apparently. Maybe non-superlatively my favorite show since Odd Taxi, and Odd Taxi is one of my favorites. Now, is Lycoris Recoil going to be a surprise masterpiece like Odd Taxi was? Probably not. But will it be a lot of fun? Will it go into some deep themes? Will it honestly probably be really good by the end of it? I hope so, and I would say probably, given its current trajectory. So, seeing as I'm quarantined and I feel my YouTube channel looking at me like I went off to war and my last letter was 8 months ago, I figured I might as well try something light, try something easy, work on the new setup, and see if you guys like it, see if I like it. Either way, I'm going to talk about Lycoris Recoil now, and you're going to sit there and watch, I hope. Lycoris Recoil follows Takina and Chisato, our two co-protagonists, as they navigate their daily lives as, and I'm going to look at my notes for this one because I don't want to mess it up, government-sponsored militaristic orphan child hitmen. Yikes. And on paper, that sounds as terrible as it is, because it is. This program is all they've ever known, so they feel indebted to it. Takina much more than Chisato, and we'll get into those little cinnamon buns later, because they're too good not to talk about. Following a morally gray choice that worked out pretty well, Takina is given the hot fuzz treatment. She's sent out to the metaphorical countryside, it's actually just suburban Japan, to work with Chisato, who is actually one of the best Lycoris that they have in their core, but she chooses to work this slower detail for her own personal ends, and they can't make her do anything else. And with that set up, the girls are left to take on their missions, forge friendships, and navigate their way through a day job working at a tea shop with their handler Mika and retired Lycoris Mizuki. And so apart from the characters, which I mentioned earlier I want to talk about, and I really want to talk about, but I'm waiting. The spy narrative is what keeps the show interesting, at least in the beginning. Now, is it treading any new ground? Absolutely not. But seeing schoolgirls navigate their way through the interwoven web of politics at a shady government organization and trying to come out the other side good friends and still alive is intriguing, to say the least. It's honestly giving me like a Diet Season 1 Psycho Pass 5, if that makes any sense. Mika in particular is really intriguing to me. He is a dedicated, hard-working father figure for these girls, and he gives them their missions, and he works hard to keep them safe. But he obviously has some other stuff going on. He seemingly has history with one of the early, maybe antagonists, and he's definitely either thrown up big, tragic, soon-to-be death flags, or big, tragic, soon-to-be betrayal flags. I'm not sure which one, and I hope it's neither, because I really don't want to see these characters suffer, but it's not looking good. But you know what is looking good? This show. Man, for a seasonal anime, They animated the crap out of this show. It looks fantastic. The fight scenes packed with Sakuga and beautiful choreography that reminds me of a lot of like East Asian martial arts films like Ong Bak Thai Warrior. Not necessarily as hardcore, but a bit more gun focused. And then the character animation is so expressive, and it even reflects on the girls' personalities within their fighting style, and it's so beautiful at doing that. Let's take, for example, Chisato. She's a bubbly girl and wild and unpredictable at the best of times. She gives me a lot of Mugen vibes, actually. And you can see that in her personality. She is fun, goofy, wacky, but during combat, this is also shown through how she fights. She runs towards enemies. She dodges bullets at the last second. She attacks from unconventional angles, just does things that people aren't expecting generally. It makes her so much fun to watch, but contrast against Takina, who is uptight, always wears her work uniform, doesn't even have any civilian clothes, which there's a whole beginning of an episode dedicated to, and honestly, it's not the best part of the show, if I'm being honest. It's fun and adoring, but watching these girls go panty shopping is not what I was here for. Either way, Takina is just by the book, militaristic, perfect form, gun handling, perfect cluster, center mass of body shotting. It's exactly what the DEA, the Lycoris agency, would want her to be, and that's how she is in her day-to-day life, and that's how she fights, and everything is put together in these characters to reflect on who they are. There's not one bit that is not considered. Chisato is a bubbly, wacky girl. She fights unconventionally. Takina is strict by the books. She fights by the books, militaristically, exactly how her higher-ups would want her to. It's great. In all honesty, it's just a joy to watch from moment to moment. And the first-time director, Shingo Adachi, really knocked it out of the park with this one. So far as I could tell, he only really worked as a character designer on Sword Art Online and some other shows, but this is his directorial debut, and good on you, man. Okay, finally, I'm letting myself talk about the characters in earnest, because I talked about them a little bit before, but I need to get into them a little more, at least personality-wise. I feel like the people who worked on the show genuinely love these characters and who they are, because you can feel that love poured into every aspect of them. And I feel like this could maybe be on a bingo card for me, so I'm going to start working on that bingo card, but I love a found family. And the found family in this show, comprising of Chisato, Takina, Mika, Mizuki, and the hacker friend Kurumi, is beautiful. They're basically a big sister, a little sister, do you got games on your phone, shitty niece, drunk aunt, and father who is doting and works extremely hard for his daughters but seems exhausted. I mean, so far the biggest mission that the show has really had is to get Takina to realize that she's okay where she's at, that this family that she has found, these people that are with her, they want to be with her, and she can be herself and better herself where she currently is working with these people. She doesn't believe it. She thinks that unless she is living in the DA dorm rooms, being the best lapdog for this gross government agency that she can be, she's not being a good person. Which, I mean, that's obviously nonsense. These people, they want her to be with them, and she's having to learn to do that, and Chisato and Mika and Kurumi and all of them are fighting to have her realize that. The chemistry and budding friendship, plus, I mean, it's getting a little Yuri-y, which is not a bad thing, just kind of what I'm seeing, is what makes the show such a joy to watch. I want to take the moment in episode 3, for example. I mean, spoilers up to episode 3. When Chisato and Takina have to go back to headquarters to go do a yearly physical, there is rumors going around headquarters about how Takina is dangerous. She shoots at her compatriots. She's not fit to be a Lycoris. She was sent off on duty to not work, to work with the best because she needed to be wrangled in or whatever. And this is clearly affecting her. She's having a hard time getting through this situation. Chisato, having only known her for not long, I don't know if it's given an exact time frame, but a couple of days, a week at most, is going to bat for her immediately. She is standing up to the bullies that Takina is not ready to face yet. She is defending her and being friends with her and doing everything she can to make her feel comfortable and welcomed where she currently is. The scene in particular when they're by the fountain in the center of the dorms and there's people standing around gossiping about Takina feet away from her, discussing how dangerous she is, and Chisato makes this grand gesture of hugging her and then picking her up and spinning her around in front of everyone and loudly praising how wonderful she is and what a great person she is, despite all of the people standing there talking shit feet away, is beautiful. And it hit me like way harder than I thought it would. It was such an endearing moment and really like made me root for these characters even more so than I already was, and I was already on board with them. It's the people who are writing this story, because it isn't an original story, have such a good grasp on character writing and the interactions between these two characters, and I can't get past how deeply I am rooting for these characters, even though it's only been 4 episodes. So my biggest hope for the show is that it continues to, 1, develop these characters and their relationships more, but 2, really dig into these themes that it's setting up. There's some themes that I hope are explored more. Things like how disgusting that this child indoctrination is, how dangerous it is to have big business in the media, and the dangers of media misuse in general. They're there, and they're like slightly shown a light on, but not really brought to the forefront yet. And I hope that they get into that more, because that could really push the show from really good to great, in my opinion. But the interpersonal stuff, it is developing well, and it does really well. The themes of loving yourself, finding out who you are, maybe even appreciating where you are in the moment. You don't always need to be growing. You don't always need to be changing. Sometimes a change can happen, and you're okay to be there and develop in that moment, because, you know, it doesn't always need to be climbing up the rung of this ladder. Sometimes take a minute to rest and just be you. Honestly, if I had more episodes and less coronavirus in me, I would probably have more to say about the show in a bit more clear and concise manner. I know this has been probably a bit rambly, but this is 1, COVID filled, and 2, the second time I'm recording this because for some reason Audacity just doesn't want to record right now. But that being said, I think I'm going to end it here. Like I said, the show's early on. There's 4 episodes out currently. There might be 5 by the time this gets out. I actually hope to have this out the day I'm shooting it, but see where life takes me. And I really think that this could be a special show, if I'm being honest. So just do me a favor, go check it out. See if you like it, because I want to know that I'm not alone. And I've seen it's on pretty high on the anime charts. People are watching it. I may be holding it in a bit higher esteem than others, but go give it a shot. It's only 4 episodes. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to have another video out sooner than this one. Honestly, creativity and me are having a weird time right now. I'm doing a lot of personal, other creative processes, but YouTube is not one of them. I can't seem to get my head in the game to make videos about stuff that I want to talk about. I don't know what it is, and it's kind of stressing me out. And I want to make more stuff, but I'm not going to force myself to make stuff that I don't like. I'm just going to talk about stuff that I'm passionate about. So whenever my 2 brain cells rub together enough to create a spark of an idea, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Go get vaccinated, please. I feel preachy saying that, and I shouldn't have to say this 2 fucking years later. Go get vaccinated, please. Either way, sincerely, your friend Spiral. Thanks.